Hey everyone, welcome into our Last of Us episode here on the Arena Productions. Of course, our season finale, episode 9 of The Last of Us from HBO, titled Look for the Light. So I'm your host, X-Pat, along with my co-host, Burley. Burley, how you doing?
I'm doing good, a little tired, but how are you?
I'm a little tired too. The time change for you, and of course for
Oh
everybody
yeah.
out there, and me having to adjust to be able to do this with you all. Obviously, here in Japan, we do not do time changes. We don't move our clock forward or backwards. We stay on Japan Standard Time all year, so we have to basically adjust to the rest of the world changing their clocks. So yeah, but yeah, I'm doing good, man. So yeah. Episode 9 of The Last of Us, the season finale. So Burley, they finished the first game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they finished that. So before we get into it, obviously, this is your spoiler warning. So we're going to be talking spoilers throughout this recap and discussion episode of The Last of Us. So if you have not watched the video yet, or the episode, please go to HBO or HBO Max, wherever you get the episode. Watch it there, and then come back and enjoy our recap and discussion episode. Because, yeah, there will be spoilers throughout. So, with that said, let's get into it, Burley, with the first image here. So, we get Ashley Johnson, obviously the voice of Ellie in the video games. She plays Ellie's mother. And obviously, it's another, like a flashback at the very beginning of the episode. So I think it was like 3 or 4 times this season, we've had like beginning of the episode flashbacks.
I told you we were going to get one more. Just didn't know when it was going to be. I was wrong when it was going to be, but I knew we were going to get one more.
Yeah. So she's in the woods somewhere, and I don't know why is she in the woods like that. I have no idea. But anyway, she's running, and she's running from a runner that's after her, but she gets into this like abandoned house, out in the middle of nowhere basically, and she goes upstairs and she puts a chair up against the door handle and everything, and then she goes into labor, and then obviously the runner breaks through the door and attacks her, and she's able to use the knife obviously that's given to Ellie later as she's growing up. And she kills the runner, but obviously she is bitten in the upper part of her leg. And obviously Ellie is born, and then she cuts the umbilical cord. But I guess what they're trying to tell us here, when it comes to how Ellie is immune to the cordyceps, is most likely that the cordyceps got into her, bloodstream and all through the umbilical cord before her mother was able to cut it. And so she's had cordyceps since birth. And that's the reason why she is immune when she gets bitten. What do you think, Burley? And what did you think of these scenes with of course, Ashley Johnson? And then obviously you get Marlene coming in, and we find out, how Ellie's mother dies, and how Ellie is taken away and all. But anyway, what did you think? And what do you think of what they were trying to tell us about why Ellie is immune?
I overall I really did like this, the cold open flashback. We knew she was going to be a part of the show. We're just wondering when we're going to get it, and it's like, okay, we never got it in the first 8. Okay, the finale 9, we have to get it.
Yeah.
And how much of it? And this takes up a decent chunk of the first of this episode. It takes up like 10 of the
43 minutes.
Yeah. So it takes a fair chunk of time, but it makes sense. Like I really do like this. This is an interesting kind of thing, because this is something you don't get in the game. So this is kind of cool just to see. Okay, this is how was Ellie born, and potentially a reason why she is immune. Really cool.
Yeah. And so then we move on. Obviously, Ellie, she's really quiet. This must be, I don't know, maybe a month or so after the events of the last episode. because
I would say like a week or two. Maybe.
Well, her facial scars are now, or her, her cuts and everything are all healed. So, yeah, I don't know, but maybe weeks, because they have to get to Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
and obviously he's really perky and he's talking a lot more to Ellie, but Ellie is it's interesting how Ellie is kind of become like Joel, just this really quiet and emotionless face. And it's because probably she's thinking about all the stuff that's gone on. Maybe she was thinking about her best friend, obviously, thinking about Tess and thinking about all those who have died on this journey, because to her the journey is getting close to its end here. So what did you think?
I really like this because it shows fallout from the last episode.
Yeah.
And then I love the moments Joel here. Because he sees this at this point. I think it's safe to say he sees her as his daughter.
Yeah.
And he knows what it like, because he did have a daughter himself. So he's trying to be nice, get her out of this dark place she is right now.
Right. He's got the Chef Boyardee can that he finds that they can eat. And then the Boggle game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one game you can easily kick my ass at.
Yeah.
And he's talking about a guitar, and then he even says to her, why don't we just go to Tommy's? Go to the dam. So you can just, relax. I really do like these moments between them. These are such great, and she kind of reminds them like, hey, we have to do this. But she's like, well, maybe after, and Joel's like, yeah, after.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I like this scene in the building here, and you have like the kind of the reddish backdrop. Before, we had images of this before the episode, and I thought there was some kind of raiders or something that might be attacking, but obviously that wasn't the case. Ellie was running around because she had saw something, and Joel is just basically trying to chase her down. I mean, like the scene when she was lowering down the ladder for him, and then she just drops it, and then she keeps running because of what she sees here. And obviously it's from the famous scene from the video game where she sees, of course, the giraffe and the giraffes outside, and so her and Joel go up to feed him, I thought this was another great scene. How about you, Burley?
Oh, I love this. This is a great scene and really well done. It's pretty much shot for shot from the game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It was such a just great moment. And you can really see the emotion on Bella Ramsey's face.
Yeah.
Just how happy she is with this. You can see it, Joel. He's like, oh, thank God. Relief. She's good. She's happy. Like, these are stuff I really love. When you can really get the emotions in.
Yeah. Yeah, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, obviously they directed this episode, and it was pretty much spot on for the game. And we're going to get to more of that here in a second. So they keep moving on, but I like the dialogue between them just after this scene here, whereas Joel is trying to say to her, we don't have to do this. We could go back to Tommy's and all that. And then she's like, all that we've been through, all that we've gone through, we need to see it to the end. And I thought that was a pretty great scene there. It's like, let's finish this. Yeah. So anyway, they get obviously into the area where you see all of the medical tents and everything from when the army had everything put out there for like a some type of quarantine area for the sick or whatever. And Joel was saying, they put these up just after the outbreak, and it didn't work out very well, obviously. And then, of course, Ellie pops out her book again and starts throwing stuff at Joel. And then obviously there's a like a shock grenade or something that comes out. And
I think it was a flashbang.
Yeah, flashbang. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then that from the Fireflies, and then, of course, then they end up in the hospital there, and then we get the scene with Marlene here, and Marlene is telling Joel when he wakes up there that she lost half of her men getting out there from Boston, and that she's being prepped for surgery. And those of us that have played the game, we know what's coming. And she explains to Joel that what the doctor thinks is that the reason she's immune is because the cordyceps thinks that she is cordyceps. And so what they need to do is extract the cordyceps from her brain and then, make samples of it and all, and then be able to distribute it and have a cure. And then Joel, of course, is like, the cordyceps grows in the brain, which means that they have to extract Ellie's brain, which means that she's going to die in the procedure.
No.
And obviously Joel's not going to have that.
Oh.
And so Marlene basically tells her men, all right, get him out of here. Take him outside, take him, out into the fields, give him his bag. And then if he gives you any crap, shoot him. What'd you think?
Yeah, well, this is straight from the game, but I do love that she's like, basically like, yeah, no one could have survived this, but you were somehow able to do this.
Yeah.
You, Joel.
Yeah.
And then, thinking on that, and she's like realizing how he's bonded with her. You'd think she'd learn to, not say everything. Like, she's acting like this is something that with the game that always got to me. It's like, you're acting like a James Bond villain. I'm going to tell you my evil plan. And so, I know once I've told you, you won't stop it. I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get you off the property. No, you've seen what Joel, what Joel has done and can do.
Yeah.
Half your men died trying to get just you here.
Yeah.
He was able to get a little girl there by himself.
Right.
Like, I would probably, if I was Marlene, I would have just shot him. You knew, or not said anything. Would have been the smartest thing. But since you did say stuff, shoot and kill him. Like, but no, she doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm glad, and it's just like straight out of the game. Which way do you want me to go? Left or right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Left. Okay. And then just stops. Why'd you stop? Takes out the one guard, grabs his gun, shoots the other guard. Yeah. And then Joel just goes around with the gun, just taking out people. I love it.
Oh yeah. I mean, just the cinematography in this was amazing, and just him going down these corridors, and some of those fireflies are waiting for him, but they missed. Yeah. And he got them and just took them all out. And then he gets into the room with the doctor, and the doctor makes the mistake of saying, I'm not going to let you have her. And then just pop. And he's gone. Yeah. And one of the nurses, though, did you catch this? Who one of the nurses was?
Yep. One of the nurses is Abby, a character from the second game.
That's right.
I didn't notice it right away. I saw it right after the episode. I had watched it and aired. I then could see something on Twitter.
Well, it's the voice actress.
Yeah, it's the voice actress, but I didn't know what the voice actress had looked like for Abby.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that's a nice little Easter egg cameo kind of thing.
Yeah, good stuff. So anyway, so everything from the video game, I mean, just spot on, obviously. And then he's taken her down into the basement to the car, and then Marlene, of course, confronts him again and says, we can still find the cure. We can still do, after all that you've done, we can still, find a way. And then Joel just pops her, unfortunately. I mean, and then she's like, and they're going back and forth between the car, obviously, as he's driving Ellie away. But then they go back to the garage, and she's like, let me go. And he's like, you'll just come after her again. And then he just pops her in the head. And that's all there is to it. Yeah. I mean, So I mean, it's spot on. And then of course in the car where he lies to her about the Firefly situation, that they had other people there that were immune, and they're not gonna continue looking for a cure. Things just didn't work out. Yeah. And which leads, go ahead.
I was gonna say this makes reference to other stuff from the game, because one of the collectibles actually I forget where the collectible is, but does make mention of this, that they have found others that are immune, and the surgery has not worked.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little Easter egg if you found that on the if you found it in the game.
Yeah.
But I do love like the dialogue between him and Marlene, like that, and even him with her in the car. That is pretty much ripped out from the game.
Yeah.
It's pretty much 1-to-1.
Yeah.
I believe there's some like words changed here or there, but
yeah,
and it was just great dialogue.
Yeah, and then of course
poor Marlene thinking, you see, Joel has killed most of the men here at this hospital. You think just talking to him quickly is gonna stop him? Oh, yeah. Marlene.
And then of course we get to the very last conversation between Ellie and Joel at the end of the episode. And she just confronts him, and I like it before that where she's talking about her friend in Left Behind and how that was the first person that she had killed, so letting Joel know about that, and then of course confronting him and saying, tell me, what you said about the Fireflies, is that true? Is that honest? Be honest with me. And he's like, yes. And then she's like, just, speechless there for a second or two. And then she says, okay, end of episode, just like the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So amazing performances all around. Yeah. I really love the season, and I love where they're going with the second season. And we've got information basically from Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann. And they say basically that the second season cannot be The Last of Us Part 2, I should say, cannot be done in one season. So there will probably be a season 3 as well, because the second game is much larger in scope. So the story especially. So I think it's easily to say that this series is going to be drawn out, where the first half of the second season might just be Ellie and Joel in Tommy's compound in Wyoming for the first 5 years.
Yeah.
Where they did say that they don't want to veer away from the video game, because Craig Mazin was basically saying that he doesn't want to go beyond the source material. So he doesn't want to make the same mistake as Game of Thrones, whereas they didn't have any source material because George R.R. Martin obviously had not finished the story. And so they just had to make up. Dan and Dave just had to make up.
Well, they cut plot lines, and then just they apparently that the ending they have said like it did come from George, but there's a lot of stuff, I'm sure, because George is sitting writing.
But the book had not been finished yet. And so
yeah.
they just had to go on the fly, And George R.R. Martin approved it, but I mean, yeah.
Well, he approved the checks that were coming into his bank account. Let's be.
But so that's, I mean, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, they just don't want to go beyond what source material they have. Whether they make a Last of Us 3 video game first, and then obviously they could continue, we don't know. But it looks like season 2 will not be the last, because it will not be able to cover the entire contents of the Last of Us Part 2 video game. So
unless you made, like, the only way you did that is you made a giant season. And I mean, giant, like double what the episode order they had.
And usually HBO, they're not going to do that. It'll probably be another 9 or 10 episode season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, yeah, exciting times ahead. Probably we will be getting the next season sometime next year in 2024. From what they've been saying is that filming on season 2 is going to begin sometime this spring, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to start filming. So, we'll probably see it sometime in, I'm hoping summer of 2024. We shall see. But anyway, exciting times, and we're looking forward to to bringing you more recap and discussion episodes of The Last of Us when we do get season 2. So we hope you come and enjoy our recap and discussion episodes with us here on the Arena Productions. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. We hope to catch you in the next episode of The Last of Us. But until then, we have so much other content here on the Arena Productions. Of course, we have our Star Wars shows. We have our Star Trek shows. We have our Marvel shows when they hit Disney Plus, along with the MCU films. So much content. And of course, if you're into video games, we have the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast we do weekly on Saturdays. And our next episode will be on March 25th, when we will be recording live from 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And then, of course, we have the Arena Extra Take, which is a supplement to that as well, where we dive into one particular video game and show gameplay footage from it and discuss it. So, yeah, a lot of stuff here on the Arena Productions to keep you busy until the next season of The Last of Us.
And do you mind? I could tease the next Extra Take that could be coming soon.
Go for it.
It might be a remake. It might be, let's see how this horror remake that comes at the end of the month, how it runs on the Steam Deck.
Okay. Yeah. And what particular game is that, Burley?
Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake, yeah. So not The Last of Us, but Resident Evil 4.
Evil.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, take care, everyone. We hope to catch you in one of our other shows until The Last of Us comes back. So we hope you enjoyed the Last of Us season 1. So anyway, until next time, take care, everyone. Peace out.
Bye, everyone.